Leslie?
Everybody smile. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amazing Scale Modelers Across the Pond Hangout. And I'm your host, Scratch and Jack. Amazing Scale Modelers is a Google Plus community of scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genres, and skill levels who'd like to share their tips and tricks with one another, learn more about their craft, and to celebrate one another's scale modeling achievements. Amazing Scale Modelers is perhaps the fastest growing or largest existing scale modeling community for all scale modelers, not just particularly. And I don't even know what the count is so far. It's been fluctuating because I've been weeding out some pornographic sites.
What? What kind of model?
As opposed to model porn, it was the actual porn. And right now we have
There's some plastic involved.
The only reason I'm a member, you took them all away.
Right now we have an all-American number, 1776, 1,776 members. And where am I? Boy, the screen is kind of small. And joining us, our members are Amazing Scale Modelers and some of the best stalkers and creeps out there that the internet can offer. Who want to talk about scale modeling? Hi, everyone. How you all doing?
Doing fine.
New Year, Jack.
And starting to my Google left to right, that would be starting with Heath, as always. How you doing, Heath?
I'm very well. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
What's
the future like, Heath? Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's just absolutely beautiful.
I was going to say, it's not such a new year compared to this for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got a lot of things planned for this year. I've got a lot of model builds to do this year. I didn't get to do any model building. I did get to do some model building, but some of the kits I didn't want to. But some of the kits I wanted to do, I didn't get around to do. So this year, I have got to get back to my modeling. I've got to get back to it. I'm missing it, and it's like I'm going. Where do I start? I mean, as I said before, I've got the 350 here screaming at me to be built. I've also got the Enterprise B and the Snow Speeder and the Batwing screaming to be built. And everybody else is going, hey, don't forget about us either. I've got 2 storage boxes full of model kits that need to be done. And I'm not kidding there. I'm not kidding there at all. But,
yeah, I mean, that's the case usually about the hobby when we're away from it and we get these withdrawals. And in fact, this morning I found something on the what Randall Scott had put up. Randall put up a ad about the warning of contagious model aircraft disease, but we can call that.
I just saw that. I just saw that before we started.
Adult males are very susceptible, and symptoms are continual complaint as to need for a constructive hobby. Patient has a blank expression, sometimes deaf to children and wives. Also haunts basements, attics, and garages. Will not do work around the house. Has nose in the model aircraft catalogs and magazines, and often found wandering alongside runways, around airfields, hangars, bases, and airports with cameras. Mumbles numbers and names such as ME-109, F-17, TA, etc., etc. Skyhawk, Spitfire, Jumbo, Boeing, and all that sort of stuff. There's no known cure. There's no.
And then they get to this bugger.
The other way to eat the symptoms is to build models. Yes, there you are.
He popped that and popped that again.
And then we get this bugger, the Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker.
Be careful how you joke.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I have been warned off. I mean, I've been warned by Randall, I've been warned by Jamie, Mr. John Petrie, even Keith.
Oh, if you're lighting it.
It's the Widowmaker.
At least if you're lighting it would be. Cool. That's what you have going on. You got that disease, and the only way to ease the pain is to build a model. So build a model.
Oh, I'll do that. Don't worry. Let me put it this way. I've already got the plastic out on this.
I see.
So I'll be probably believe it or not, I'll be probably starting that tomorrow by priming it.
Uh-huh.
And then I have to try and find some white paint.
All right.
And then I might be able to crack open the airbrush for the first time.
Oh, that'll be nice. I think you'll like that. You'll like that.
You'll love it, Heath. What you won't love is cleaning the bloody thing afterwards.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
Well, if you use
Don't
acrylic,
clean
it doesn't happen so bad. But I'll tell you about what my airbrush adventure was recently. This actually would be kind of funny.
Next.
Anyhow, next coming up is James. How you doing, James?
Good morning, all. Anyway, yeah, still working away at
The Falcon.
my Falcon.
Oh, nice.
Looking good, James.
Further along than the last pictures. Mm-hmm.
And after didn't get a lot done over Christmas, but sort of getting back into the groove now.
Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead. Keep going.
And anyway, and already planning what my spring build's going to be. So some of you already know.
This morning.
Yeah, so we got to plan ahead. It's New Year, so you got to plan what you're going to do. I have
That's upside down, James.
Everyone does that with that song.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hello.
That's actually a pretty decent size.
Yeah.
What's this not for sale business?
because it's a in the public domain. It's a privately. It's the designer of the kit. It's in the public domain and not for resale from
He doesn't
the
want people selling it.
pirates. Yeah.
Ah.
It's really distributed, but you cannot resell it.
You know, James, it will be endless unbelief as to how interesting paper models are. The amount of detail on them are just extraordinary.
Oh yeah, this one's like 40 pages.
And I'm screen sharing to everyone.
Oh, wow.
Ah, yes.
Your pictures.
Yeah, it's got the ring all assembled.
That is not a very. That is a very good representation of the Falcon. I swear to God, that is probably one of, next to a plastic model kit, that paper kit. Well, I've got a paper kit anyway.
Oh, I think a paper kit is better, more superior in some ways because the weathering, everything's already on there. You don't have to try so hard to paint it. Albeit, if you wanted to, you can certainly add to it, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, you can add to it if you wish.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that sort of gives you the idea of the way the construction goes, too, because the center ring and the docking ports are also part of your superstructure to support the upper and lower hulls. So
Makes sense.
Uh-huh.
so it's also incorporated into your superstructure.
Parts there, James, on the side of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, good God, that would have been.
All the regals.
Each little piece had to be built.
Oh God, James, you would have lost your mind.
I would have. I would have put match to it. A little bit of lighting fluid and a little bit of a match, and that would take care of my model.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, you had to do the two long mandibles.
Yeah.
That is quite amazing. Very, very cool.
I couldn't do that. I could not do that.
Something is telling me you're making a very particular effort on this. I don't know why I say that, but somehow I believe you're making this really monumental effort to do this really well.
Well, I tackle each model basically the same way to do the best that I can do with it. I don't believe in the idea of just throwing a model together. There are people out there that can seem to put some of these together in a couple of days, and I can't do that because I like to have a nice, decent result at the end as opposed to something that looks sloppily and half done.
Sure.
Well, I noticed when you did your Enterprise, James, I mean, that took a lot of time itself. The Enterprise with the space stock and all that took a lot of time.
I don't know. It seemed like it went together fast for me. I don't know about you, but it maybe long for Heath, but not so much time for me.
No.
Anyhow,
But you know, the enterprise is the enterprise.
Yeah.
I find myself spending more time on some models more than others. I don't know why. I think it just depends on the construction, what's required for me to like it. Speaking of liking it, how you doing, Liam?
I'm fine, Jack. Thank you. Happy New Year again, as everyone's saying. First time here for a while because of personal things that have been going on, so hopefully that'll not be the case for 2016. We'll see how it goes. I'm fine. I haven't been out here for so long building. I've been doing just what I've been talking about, the dreaded airbrushes. I've been
Oh, you built an airbrush.
and trying to strip the bloody. It's been soaking overnight in pure alcohol because the paint is so solid.
Sounds like my New Year's Eve.
not recommended, Lou. So getting there with that, the only thing I did do over Christmas, I showed this before, but I didn't get it finished in time for my son's friend. I had finished this thing.
Oh wow!
The Solar Blaster.
Yeah. Which, you know, it looks the part. It's not too. Can't get a suitable scope for it, but apparently it was used without a scope in several of the movies anyway. So basically,
Is that a toy or is that an actual gun?
It's an air pistol, Heath, which cost about £10, and works basically. You pull it back, that arms it, and then so it's an air pistol. But because of what I had to do with this, it no longer fires. Yeah. But you can still do that action, and you can do all the all the stuff comes out.
Looks like what you need. I see you've got that little grill bit there at the front. That looks good.
Yeah, that's again. It's a simplification. I couldn't get accurate pieces of plastic to do it. This you may or may not know what those are.
They look like bottle caps.
Bottle caps. Yeah, the two sent me bottle caps, which is very close to what the original was. This is the top.
Being the Star Wars blaster nut that I am, I'll have to say this. That's a very.
That's the top of the bottle. So
being, as I was about to say, Liam, being the Star Wars blaster nut that I am, I think you've done a pretty good job there.
And it's heavy, Heath, as well. It's not. It's like it's got a weight to it. It feels like a pistol. So because it's got metal
looking
mechanics.
for the top of what version blaster are you doing? Are you doing the one from?
It's the one I've done.
Exactly.
It's not. I would like to have made it more accurate. Perhaps for the next one. My son wants one for himself now, so the next one I'll do a better job on it.
Be careful with that, because if you're doing that here in the United States, the cops will shoot you. So don't be carrying around outside.
Oh no, it's not it's going to be on a wall. It's not that many years since the situation was exactly the same here.
Like when we were kids, we had water pistols and the cap guns.
Yeah.
The awful chrome that they put on plastic.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say, if that's from Empire or Jedi, they had a huge scope.
The only way, long or short of it, that was a very cool build.
It's something different.
Yeah, it is.
I tried to do the scope piece, but I couldn't get appropriate pieces of tubing. Just with Christmas and so on, it's a bad time to be trying to buy anything.
Oh sure.
But that's what. So far as the New Year's concerned, I'll just have to decide in the next couple of weeks what I'm going to go back to or start anew. Probably go back to some things that I didn't get finished.
Right.
But it looks good. It looks good, Liam. You're doing a good job there. I
think the he will be happy. He's a big Star Wars fan. He got a Millennium Falcon from me last year, so same thing. So this time it's the blaster.
That's another one I've got to build too. I've got to build. Got to do my Falcon. I can't. That's been like that for a year. I've got to do that. I'll have to do that. There's another one to list.
Yeah, do the Falcon. That would be better than the refit, I would say.
Yes. It would be less.
Not necessarily, because I've got to get parts. I've got to get I've got to get parts, and I've got to just get the stuff that Randy Cooper's done, so I can make it look pretty.
How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing wonderful. Is it my turn?
Yay! It is. You're the next one from left to right. My left to right, anyway. Your Google left to right.
Not how it works on my screen.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? Here's my New Year's baby.
Oh, hello.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I've been seeing this. Yes, I saw this the other day.
Did take pictures of it.
One nice swing.
And it looks beautiful.
That's big. Now that is what? That's not a model kit, is it?
Yeah, that is
The Reveal?
snap tight.
Yeah.
Here's the box.
No kidding.
You're kidding me.
Holy X-Wings. Nice. A snap tight. And was it already painted for you?
Yes, I was, and I reprimed everything and started from scratch. The paint looked like it was put on by a small ape child.
Wow.
It does. Did you replace the plastic parts on the blasters on the wing, or did you just stick with what was on it, Lou?
What do you mean? Oh no, I replaced the gun.
Yeah. Same as that's the one I did just over a year ago. It's a nice kit.
Yeah, I kept the heads of the guns, but I replaced the stocks with styrene tube and brass.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that's the snap tight kit. That
is the snap tight Mac. What they're calling snap tight Max here in the States, Heath. I don't know what your packaging might be. This is
look, the only one we get are the Bandai, and that's the only one we get. We only get the Bandai. We don't get.
You don't get the Revel, yeah.
Pre-painted parts, but they look horrible.
I was just online with someone yesterday. Who was it that was complaining about the Bandai?
The pilot you could pick up and throw away. It's made it's like rubber.
The
R2 is not bad, but it builds up pretty nice.
Yeah, it does look like that. So that's what you've been doing over Christmas?
Yeah.
That's it,
Lou. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
You light it, Lou?
I did not.
Well, this one's lit.
Oh well.
Show off.
Every sci-fi model builder has an X-Wing or a Enterprise and or a Millennium Falcon.
I'm just going to say one thing. If you don't have a Millennium Falcon in your kit, you're not worth it.
Not worth it. Okay.
This is.
I don't have a Millennium Falcon in your kits yet. If you don't have Millennium Falcon kit,
Okay, we know.
I question your validity.
Ooh, that's the hopper?
I'm back on the hopper base now. I've got all of the fiber optics run, and
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
wire up the LEDs for it. But that's all the fiber optics for the cabin.
Holy mackerel.
That is-
But, I mean, it's perfect amount of space for it. I mean, it's
Oh,
scattered.
incidentally, it's really funny that just come to mind right now. That is an awful big model kit that you're building. Very nice, of course. You're putting an addition on your house. How is that going?
It's not going anywhere right now because everybody that I want to get estimates from is on break.
Oh, really? I thought you started this before Christmas.
Yeah, but now I'm having some actual plans drawn up. My feeble sketches aren't getting me the results because my estimates are all over the place, and people want to see actual numbers and dimensions and things like that. So
It would be nice to be putting additions
It's going
on
to be easier
houses.
if everybody has the same set of plans they're bidding on.
Oh, really? It's the same plan?
Well, I mean the same. They can all see the same dimensions, and I'm not forgetting to tell somebody one thing that everybody's seeing the same
Same thing. Yeah.
thing.
Important thing.
Is it okay to ask what you're expecting to pay?
I'm expecting to pay somewhere around 15 grand.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I'm trying to keep it around that because I have some in reserve for things that crop up.
Right.
Which always do.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I have an absolute break my back budget that I don't want to go over. So
Right.
I'm trying to build in some of that.
Here where I live, you know where I live in Western Pennsylvania. You put a tool shed on your yard and you're taxed on it, let alone an addition.
Yeah.
Is it the same in North Carolina for you by chance?
Well, it'll have to be reassessed on the value of the property because the size of the
More square footage.
yeah, the footprint is going up. So the land has a certain value that's not. I don't know whether it's going to go up or down, but then yeah, I'll have to up my insurance and I'll have to up the property tax. I'm sure.
Oh, here it's even if you don't add square footage and you change a couple of closets into a bathroom, that changes things too.
Yeah,
To put it lightly, it sucks.
anything that triggers a building permit, I think.
Yeah.
If you do stuff that doesn't trigger a building permit, then no one knows about it. But once the building permit is issued, then the tax people come and the
Building inspectors and everything else. Yeah.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask because
You're doing this the right way.
I always say that here everything is done to keep people from improving property and improving value.
Yeah.
Do they still call Pennsylvania the land of taxes?
Oh, of course. They just said that, oh, guess what? The gasoline prices are going down. Let's start taxing another nickel per gallon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting too cheap. It's
too cheap. Right, it's too cheap. And the toll road going through from east to west, the Turnpike, the first toll road in the world, they just raised it another, I think another 15 cents a mile. I think it's like a lot.
Yeah, Turnpike's always been.
And they said that they're raising it because they got old debts they want to pay off.
Gambling debts.
No kidding. Old debt. Okay. But anyway.
What are the gas prices like up there now, Jack?
In Pittsburgh, it's averaging $2.17.
Wow.
Per gallon.
Per gallon.
$1.75 here.
$1.75 there, yes.
Oh.
I don't think the only way I can get the gas price to go below $2 is that we shop at 2 grocery stores that gives us gasoline points. The last time I bought gasoline was $1.95.
Wow.
Ours is $1.24 over here.
$1.24 a liter or a gallon?
$24, $1.24 a liter.
Yeah, that's
For
expensive.
93 cents a liter.
Yeah, that's expensive because that's over $2.50 a gallon.
Well,
Ours would be
during
getting
Christmas
on
we had like
for-
$1.09. We had like $1.09 a liter.
Well, our energy sector went through the floor.
Yeah.
Nobody's employed anymore because gasoline prices are so petroleum is so cheap these
They're
days.
all privately owned. But what has this got to do with bottling?
Well, styrene is made from that.
Yeah, styrene is a petroleum-based product.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So will steel model prices go down? No,
No.
probably not. Speaking of not going down for cheap, how you doing, Randall?
Oh, that's low.
And the award for the best introduction of 2016 goes to...
And a happy new year to you too, Jack.
Yes, let's start this party with a bang.
You're cheap and
It just came out. It was a great segue. You got to admit it was a great segue.
Oh, yeah.
No
Not
offense,
that.
of course. No offense, of course. What's going on with you? I mean, you got a lot. I look at your top shelf on the top of your head there. Top shelf. It's like, can you fit another Star Trek model there?
Saucer Mania.
I don't think so.
Got 2 Voyagers up
I
there.
have a mention. All but 3 of them are actually toys.
Okay.
But I had nowhere else to put them. I can't even remember the name of the company now that makes them, Playmates or something like that. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. There's 3 of the Bandai snap type pre-lit Star Trek models up there. There's the Voyager refit and the NX-01. Hang on a second.
That was my first experience to the Bandai kits for the Star Trek models.
and they were worth a fortune.
They cost a
On
pretty
bulk.
penny, though.
Oh, look at this. Be careful, don't fall off that stool.
Yeah, it's an avalanche.
See a body flying across the screen.
Yeah,
Oh, very cool.
there we go.
One refit.
Yeah, that's the Bandai, all right.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the batteries are still working on this thing. Hang on.
I hope the batteries aren't still in it.
Yeah, they are, but they've died. Oh well, sorry about that.
Remove them immediately after the hangout.
Yes.
Now, when the only experience I have with Bandai is the Star Trek and the Star Wars. When Bandai make military kits, are they also already pre-painted?
No, they're. I think they're pretty standard. The rest of their kit line. It's just the Star Trek line that I'm aware of that came with pre-painting. Their Aztecing wasn't too bad. It was a wee bit. This might be a wee bit dusty, but if you can make it out there.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the kit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you can just see it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was wondering why they pre-painted a very complicated pattern on the Star Trek kits, but when they did their Boba Fett and their Slave One, they didn't pre-paint them at all.
Hmm. Yeah, they just the plastic parts just came pre-colored, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm digging out the Slave One here now, and it's I mean, I'm happy I get the paint, but at the same time, it's like okay, they went so far and then realized they were going to have to pre-paint this. It's going to be, I mean, it's still weird to see different colors of parts on the same tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's clear and the red and the green all on the same tree, but that they didn't go in and try to do the paint chip look.
Yeah. It makes for a very strange breakdown of parts where the different colors are essentially molded as different parts.
Yeah, it's like okay, we're going to squirt some into the mold. In this section is going to be green, and then we're going to you're going to inject clear into the whole thing.
They have a very interesting mold technology that they've developed.
Mm.
Huh.
But
Wow.
Revell tried to do that with some of their pre-paint stuff, and the results are not as good.
But you're saying it's not paint, it's actually the plastic that's been molded in that color.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
And it's on different trees.
No, it's on the same tree.
It's on the same tree.
I'm sorry, on the same tree.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to me, though, they might put the already made part into the mold, and then they squirt in the sprue plastic.
No, they got a way of multiple sprue injection that they can inject different plastic in different spots.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Like you got clear. This
Bye.
part's clear. This part's clear red. This part is like a rust color, and this part's green. It's a lovely thing to look at, but it makes you wonder.
Yeah,
It's a
it's not like
technology
they're
they developed for
different
their
sprues just locked together. They are actually all the one sprue.
Yeah, they're all the one
Yeah.
sprue. You can see where the two colors kind of run into each other on the joints here. You can see. Let me get it up to the camera. You can see right here where the two colors are running into each other.
Yep.
Oh, isn't that cool? Okay. So it's not as precise as to have the color end at when the sprue begins.
No, they got little tabs in between the different colors, so I guess that's a little dam to keep them from running into each other. But it's weird. Gotta love the Bandai folk.
Well, all of the talk about Bandai stuff. What about the Dragon Star Wars kits that are coming out?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of 144 scale.
A 1/35th scale at that.
Yeah, that's.
That's going to be a fair size.
Oh, that's going to be pretty cool.
About 29 centimeters, I think.
What's that in English?
Sorry, 290 millimeters. That's what, almost a meter, almost 3 feet.
3 feet. Meters more than 3 feet, so that would be almost 4 feet.
Well,
All I remember is a meter.
29 centimeters.
so, but no mention of price yet.
Well, maybe that's because of petrol or prices going down. They can make bigger styrene kits, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Could that be it?
I wonder if that's because there's a economy of scale. They only have to mold really one leg.
Yeah.
And just shoot 4 of them. But I mean, there's the parts are repetitive enough.
It will be the size of a small dog, Luke.
I know. I've had a small dog about this big.
I just think it's scale modelers.
290 millimeters.
What's that?
You say it was Did Liam say it was 290 millimeters?
280 is 4 feet. Yeah.
Sorry, 200. No, sorry. If I get, it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's just I'm getting mixed up with the
Decimal place.
29 centimeters.
If it was 290 centimeters, that's like.
That's only a foot.
That could be right.
No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. I'll try and find it here.
Welcome to Math in the Morning.
Well, it's afternoon for the UK folks, so we're going to let them do it.
Well, as a rule of thumb, 30 centimeters or 300 millimeters is 1 foot, roughly. Give or take a few millimeters.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking of 2,000 millimeters, which would be 2 meters.
That's 2,000 millimeters is 2 meters.
Okay. So you're talking 200 millimeters would be, yes, that would be about 2 foot, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that would be the size of a small dog. Holy crap, look at that.
Scare the bejesus out of our cat.
Especially if it moves.
A 1/35th scale?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
It's only I think it's 35 times smaller than the actual thing. Well, okay, a 1/72nd would be.
And they're doing a Millennium Falcon as well.
But 35 scale?
No mention of size yet.
144 is the last I seen.
Very big.
Yeah.
Well, that's the the fine molds is 1/72nd, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and they've done a 1/44th as well.
Mm. Yeah, the funny thing about the Bandai 144 Falcon and the fine molds 144 Falcon, when you put the two of them together, the fine molds is actually slightly smaller. There's Bad Grindles and his YouTube channel did a comparison of the two kits, and the fine molds is almost like half an inch smaller. They're supposed to be the same scale.
I guess it would be dependent upon how they interpreted the plans to make the model. Half an inch is not that much.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that AT-AT is the same size as the there used to be a big master replica version of that.
Oh.
I'm wondering if that's the same size as that. Because there seems to be a lot of people that are using the master replicas as bases for their. I think that big Diego Falcon, the Diagostini Falcon, is based on the same size as the master replica Falcon.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if they're using the master replica AT-AT as their basis or the template for their model.
Could be. Could be.
Well, let's get back to reality and talk to Wayne.
Well, that's not good, is it?
That are actually real.
It's all depending on you, Wayne.
Okay, shall I talk about models or what I'm getting and what I'm doing?
Oh, okay.
Whatever floats your boat.
I have finished working on that because I decided to knock the paint over, so I haven't got any more paint until I go to the model shop at Lincoln.
Okay. It looks really good though, whatever you held up.
Is it the
You've got the one-color desktop, huh?
Is it the 1/24th one, Wayne?
Yes. My desk is actually the same colour as it's supposed to be because I'm not, as I say, I'm not a free print over. So, well, I've started my M4 Sherman Easy 8.
135th.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the Academy version, but everybody else seems to be releasing one now. Well, I've done a bit of scratch building. I made some grills for this Panther.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Is that out of screen material?
Yeah, it's a wire mesh cottage for. You get about an A5 sheet of it for about £5.
Oh, that's nice.
£5. That's a lot.
Well, I'm also waiting on another Panther Type G with this late version. I've already got the Zamirit photo etch for it.
Oh, nice.
I ordered that on Tuesday. It was here Friday.
That's actually pretty quick.
Yeah.
2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
For the UK, it's extremely quick.
Well, they had to tax it as it went through the system there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the new Tamiya Easy 8. Yeah. So,
yeah, I've seen that in the shop. The shops here, almost tempted.
Actually, I am eyeballing a tank on eBay. I'll probably get it probably by the end of January. I'll probably get it.
Oh, there's
working
the
this.
train.
This locomotive.
Nice.
The paint job on it is not turned out the right way how I wanted it to do, so I'm going to rework the paint job on it. So hopefully try doing better job of it. Because the red's mixed with the yellow and it's made it look orange, basically.
What happens?
Yeah, it's not made it. It's supposed to be like a German. So I'll find a tender for it now. I've lost a tender for it.
Oh, so did you do that all during Christmas?
The train he's been working on for a while, right?
No, I was doing this on cover for everybody else who was either got childcare issues or something at work, so.
All right.
New Year's Day off, so I'm playing.
I just saw that there's a part here I didn't paint. Never mind. Funny how you just wander your eyes around. You see things that on your workbench that you should do. Anyway, that's why I say back to reality. We're talking about things that don't exist really. But what kind of scales do you like to work in when it comes to military vehicles?
I prefer the 135th scale, and not the 172nd, because especially with the because a lot of the tanks come with separate track link.
Okay.
So I can spend a week on the tracks.
Well, it sounds as though you're going to need a bigger flat.
Yeah.
You can't add on to one, but you can get a bigger one.
No, the landlord says I can put shells, actually fix shells.
Oh, nice.
So he's okay. My dad's sort of made a workbench. He's got it's collapsed.
Nice. Have you built him anything?
I was going to build him a truck model kit for him.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Giving model building as a gift. Really cool.
Getting a really bad echo.
Yeah.
Google. Really?
All right. Thanks for the share. Take some pictures and post them.
Yeah. I've got one thing. I've got the first competition results should be coming out next Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did go into a competition next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to take up pictures of your winning build and post it. There you go.
It's just a PDF file, so I'll just do a copy of that and post it on the board.
Uh-huh.
But
Good
we've got
luck,
another one up now, and it's competition build is anything that begins with C.
Begins with C.
Yeah. So that's about any fish tank and anything.
Well, your internet is a little, it's hard to understand.
I think everybody else is home, so that's why the internet's draining.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
sorry,
You're saying you have a shared internet in your apartment building?
yeah.
Oh,
So,
that sucks. That sucks.
actually, the people downstairs who got Scott, they got the Sky TV because I got this got me to sign up to Sky and get free internet.
Uh-huh.
So we share the internet.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed that sometimes you're coming in clearer than other times.
Yeah. So it depends what time. Like doing it, if I'm doing this night, it's easier because nobody else is on. Everybody's in bed.
Oh, well, true. Moving on, I had made friends with my toilet bowl during Christmas. It's not fun making friends with a toilet bowl during a holiday, so I didn't get anything done. I kind of looked at models. That's what I got done. I had washed, and I had used the cheap paint as primer on my TIE Fighter. And at some point after I saw Star Wars, I had already masked the panels. So let me bring out a panel. I already masked these, and I thought, well, maybe perhaps I'll do it like in a new movie where it's all black, and where this is black, it's kind of silver. And it's actually pretty cool. It looks just the same, except for the color scheme looks a lot cooler. I thought, well, hell, I've already masked these out, and I went to great pains in doing it. And as it turns out, I got some bleed under from the mask.
Yeah.
And all day yesterday, I repainted everything by hand. So this is the result I got. There's the other side. You can see some detail there. And on top of the black cheap enamel paint, I did a flat Vallejo acrylic. It seemed to work out just fine. There's a few places where I need to touch up, but this is how far I am with it. This is the Revell that I introduced probably about 4 or 6 weeks ago that I was doing it.
Part of that.
And I'm ready to assemble.
Yeah.
I'm probably ready to assemble today. Probably get it done this weekend. The base, I airbrushed it from a particular direction, so it looks like there's shadows on it. I should have brought it up and showed it off. It looks really cool when you spray paint from an angle from one direction, and then when it doesn't get, it creates a shadow.
Yeah.
It's not a very clear, sharp shadow like you'd see in the movie, but it just looks very, very, how should I say? It doesn't stick out so much. It's much more subtle than if it were sharp shadows. I don't even know how you would do sharp shadows by paint. You guys have any idea? Because airbrush, whenever it goes around an object, will create a vacuum on the other side of it, and then some of the paint will land closer to the other side. Because these are panels that are up and down.
The only way I can think of getting a sharp shadow would be to hand paint it, literally hand paint the shadow into it.
Hand paint the shadow.
With airbrushing, you're always going to get a soft shadow with airbrushing. Right.
It is a pretty soft shadow. Oh well, it's overcast over the Death Star. What can I tell you? But I'm actually having a lot of fun with this paint. I'm learning more and more from you guys as I go along. I had used Rust-Oleum to prime, a Rust-Oleum primer, but that comes out really thick. This cheap stuff, does anybody have an experience with this cheap stuff you'd probably get at Walmart? At Home Depot, they have like 97 cents for a regular rattle can. Has anybody an experience on that? Because my experience is great. I've been using it a lot.
I only ever use that. I've used that before for light blocking on the inside, Jack.
Light blocking? Oh, yeah, they work very well. Like that.
But for primer, I always use Duplicolor.
Oh, I see. Light primer. And I was just thinking now that if you use the Rust-Oleum stuff, it comes out thick, you won't have to do multiple layers like you do the cheap stuff.
Right, but you can also ruin your detail if it comes out too thick.
Well, if you're doing it as light block.
Well, yeah, that's why I say if it comes out thick, if you're using it anywhere, you're gonna ruin your detail. So that's why I use it as light blocking on the inside. I know that Steve Neal swears by it. He uses Rust-Oleum for a lot of stuff for his exterior priming.
Well, you know, if I would have done the Rust-Oleum on this, and as you saw, there were detail on there.
Oh, you lost all
I would have lost all of that. The cheap stuff is very thin, and it lays very nice on these details. I found that out on an F-18 was it an F-18 I want to rebuild? I got a new kit and sprayed it down with the Rust-Oleum because I couldn't find anything else at the time. Big mistake. All the detail was pretty much gone.
Yeah.
And I found that to be true with the Duplicolor too.
I've not had the same problem with Duplicolor. It's pretty good at keeping detail. But if it's that fiddly and you're that worried about it, I would use a primer through an airbrush and not use the rattle can.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought. I did put the Duplicolor through the airbrush, and no, I don't like doing that because it's too much cleaning.
Right.
And I don't even know how to thin that, even though it comes pretty thin. You know.
But the problem with some of it's got pretty thick. The actual grains of the paint are heavy, so you're never going to get smaller than that.
Well, Liam, what do you use for primer in the UK?
Well, that's what I was going to say. The one everyone raves about over here is the Badger primer. That's very hard to get a hold of, but it's amazing stuff. I've been trying to get it, but again, with everything that was happening, I put it off until the new year. But I had been using the Vallejo primer, but the only problem with it being you have to leave it for about a week before you can do anything with it.
You gotta leave it for a week?
Yeah. The alternative is that stuff, the Mr. Surfacer, which is amazing for retaining detail, but very expensive.
Yeah.
But again, with doing that gun, for example, was just right. It was the old cheap dollar store or we call pound store primer.
Okay. Yeah, that would be something to Duplicolor. Yeah.
Is that not primer, Liam? Is that acrylic or
it's acrylic. It is acrylic.
Oh, really? Because you know, this gray that I have on this is actually Vallejo primer gray. That's the color of the model primer.
Yeah.
But you said you have to set it for a week. For me, it's pretty much in a couple of hours I can paint over it, and also.
Is that kit?
No, it is the AMT kit.
All right. Okay.
My parts are in it. It's this kit.
All right. Okay.
There's two of them in there, so I got. I had what do you call it? 8 sides to do because the panels, and I thought it was very interesting because the Vallejo one has it in 3 parts. The details on both sides come separately than the inside of the panels do.
Right.
So painting them accurately and sharply is not a problem. But this is all in one piece, and painting it by hand is a lot of fun, particularly if you're doing coffee. Try to paint the lines with the coffee, but you don't like the Vallejo primer, you're saying, because it takes a long time to cure.
it keeps all the detail, but it just won't sit. That's the difference. The Badger primer works exactly the same way, but you can literally sand it within an hour.
It won't set or won't sit.
It doesn't cure all the way through.
Doesn't cure. The Vallejo doesn't cure.
Yeah, until it's fully cured, what happens is you can't get a fine sand line. It'll give you a harsh sand line if you try to.
It will lift off. It will come off in lumps, James. That's the problem.
I gotta admit, I don't have that same problem. Could that be possibly as a different formula going over there?
Shouldn't be. It's the same stuff.
Could be.
Because, I mean, obviously it's made in Europe. It's made in Spain. So.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I've actually rave about it. I like it so much.
Yeah, it is. It retains the details, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it does retain the detail, and like this, I found this that I need to paint. And I'm going to do this prime. This is what the black cheap stuff looks like. And I did spray this a little bit, but it wasn't completely covered. So I hand painted this with the primer. I dabbed it with I didn't stroke it this way. I dabbed it like this so I can get inside the bristles can get inside the detail.
I wonder if there was maybe something wrong with your plastic, Liam, that the primer wasn't sticking to it.
If you look at Flurry Models in the UK, has had a whole thing for the last year about primers, and that he loved the Vallejo stuff, but exactly the same problem. He could not sand it with. You had to leave it for a week. But he changed over to the Badger stuff, and that's why you can't get the Badger paint in the UK because it's sold out everywhere.
I thought that I was told that you should basically scrub with a toothbrush and with degreaser.
Oh yeah,
to get the parts clean, squeaky clean.
Yeah, the parts are clean. It's as James was saying, it just doesn't cure. It just takes time for it to cure. I don't know why it's different with you, but it's the same.
Well, I even take my primer and thin it down way down. I thin it down way down. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay.
Mine looks like this because it's got all kinds of spray.
Yeah.
This is what mine looks like.
Well used.
A bit of overspray.
I really don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Even on its bottle, I can scratch it off. I just scratched it a little bit like that.
Yeah.
But
that's the issue. I mean, well.
You just have to prime under your primer.
Well, this is not styrene, so this bottle's not styrene, so
no,
it's
propylene or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I have no problem with it. Of course, after a while, I'm going to do a spritz it with dull coat, and that's going to preserve the paint too.
Funny, some people I know actually use Tamiya XF20 for doing the priming, so they use the Tamiya paint for a primer. An expensive way to do it, I suppose.
That's an expensive primer, all right.
Yeah. But again, it sticks. So.
Oh, Duplicolor isn't exactly cheap either.
No.
By the volume, though, I'm talking about Tamiya primer versus Duplicolor primer.
Yes, I know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know why they came out with those midget cans, those tiny little short cans.
Got to be some sort of
profit. It's all about profit.
Well, you know what? Our mitts are so big, we can't even hold the can because it's so darn small.
Base is at a premium in the Orient.
Well, yeah. I'm finding it very interesting. I'm watching YouTube videos of Chinese roller coasters, regular roller coasters. They're very different. Their philosophy about roller coasters is very different than the way the Americans look at it. But anyway, that's probably why they have these small packages, because that's the way they do it. They figure you're going to build one model and you're going to give up the hobby. Not. So priming is very important for scale modeling, because when you're painting your models, paint doesn't stick to plastic very well at all. You'll need to prime it. That's basically there's also, what do you call it? it's not even primer. It's adhesion enhancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be the same as priming?
It's not. It's sort of it gives the primer a surface to stick to.
It actually goes on before the primer, depending on what your surface is.
Yeah.
If you're doing a vinyl kit, you spray it with adhesive promotion before you prime it.
Because the paint won't stick otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or else the paint or primer won't stick otherwise. Again, I haven't had these problems, but that's why I'm bringing them up. So I do understand vinyl. A lot of stuff has a difficulty sticking to it. And what are the brand names for adhesive enhancements?
Oh, Duplicolor makes one. That's my default. Adhesion promoter is what they call it.
Yeah.
Adhesion. Okay. And that's not the same as priming. Can you put a paint over those?
Yeah, you paint straight over that with your primer.
But you can't paint over an adhesion promoter.
Yes, you must paint over adhesion promoter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just got a bit more. The chemicals in it allow it to bite into the plastic a little more.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually known as an etching primer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a self-etching primer too.
Yeah.
Well, I've had to try with styrene, with a very smooth styrene, and I tried to experiment with it. And with a cotton swab or a cotton ball, I kind of swipe the surface of this plastic with acetone, and that dulls up the plastic really severely.
Yeah.
And what I found after the acetone evaporates completely, even primer and paint adheres to it very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Because it breaks up the surface tension of the plastic, and apparently it gives it a lot of ability to grab onto something.
Yeah, it gives it a lot
of. If you scratch it, like a grooved surface has more adhesion power than a smooth surface because there's more surface to stick to if it's grooved, and that's what sanding does, and that's what dulling does.
I would say sanding will do the same thing.
Yeah, very fine sandpaper will do exactly the same thing.
I found 600 grit better than 400 grit because 400 doesn't give it that extra grooving.
Right.
But I've tried it with acetone and it works just fine. So can you put acetone to vinyl?
Once.
Yes. Ooh,
Once.
lovely mess.
Yeah.
What does it do to vinyl?
I haven't experimented extensively, but the same thing it does to plastic. It melts it.
It will wilt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it melts it. But I've even gotten a little jar, like something like this big. I have a few of them downstairs, and I filled it with acetone. This has a gloss in it, gloss floor wax. And I have put sprues into it and let it sit for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And what you get back is a putty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually form and mold them in putty holes, and I have done that with a few models, and with really bad gapping issues.
I use it by the gallon myself.
Also,
if you take a small jar and you put this much spot putty, Bondo spot putty in it, and then fill the rest of it up with acetone, you can make a really nice diluted spot putty out of it.
Really soft, you mean?
Well, it's really thin. It's like water. You could just wick it into seams and stuff, and it will fill in small gaps very nicely. If you don't want to use a big daub of Bondo putty on a seam.
Bondo's pretty thick too.
Yeah, I was gonna say this thins it down to where it's like water. You're just filling it in with a brush.
I can't remember the kit I did it on. So I guess I don't have it anymore. It worked for that, but the model didn't. But I have in the past. This is a green version. There's also a white version of it. This is
Squadron, probably.
What is this?
Squadron.
Squadron.
I found the white. Apparently, somebody said to me the white is more coarse than the green, and I feel it's the other way around.
It is the other way around. The white is the fine stuff.
Yeah, white's the
It's the
fine
fine.
and green's the coarse. Yeah.
Right. I have a white tube somewhere around here, but I've also come across. Oh heck, where is it? Where is it? I had to pull it out before. This is called Scale Modeling Organization. This stuff, Mondo.
Mondo glazing putty.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Jack. Use that and dilute it with acetone.
Yeah.
This is glazing and spot putty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that the red putty?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, that's the red stuff.
Yeah. This is actually pretty thick stuff.
Yeah.
I really want it. Oh yeah.
Everybody, pull out your putty.
Yeah, pull out your putty.
Oh gosh, this smells so wonderful.
We all use.
We all use sniff off something. So this, I only used it once, as you can probably tell from the tube.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
You got to get used to it.
Yeah.
It works very different than the Squadron. Because after I've sanded it nicely and everything, I just swipe it with a little acetone, soften up the surface to make it, smoother. That will work the same way with this, wouldn't it? You could use.
Personally, I like the Mondo over the Squadron putty because it's got a finer grain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That's what I was talking about, diluting it down with acetone, because you can get an almost water finish to it, very smooth.
So I was just writing down the things we talked about. So anyhow, fellas, you got anything more to add this morning or this afternoon?
When's our next meetup? 2 weeks?
It'll be tomorrow. It'll be the Sunday Hangout at 7 p.m. Eastern. You got something to show, Randall?
It's just something to tape together.
Oh.
A while back, the Excelsior.
Ah.
Yes, that's an actual Excelsior kit.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's what's this stuff on the back of the cell?
It's called Tamiya masking tape.
Yeah.
No. You've added some detail to the back. Oh, I see now. I see.
Yeah.
It was the light going through it. Yeah. Yeah, that's an old-fashioned Excelsior, all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an Enterprise B.
Well, that brings up a subject.
The stepped edge to the filter.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's.
Going to need some puttying for that.
Oh, by the way, use that putty with good ventilation. I'm getting kind of spacey here. More than usual, actually.
That's not a bug.
Anyhow, I'd like to propose to you, and the community. I'm going to promote this till starting now until March 31st. We're going to have out of your comfort zone build. That would mean build a kit you've never done before in the genre. In other words, for me, it would be a tank. So I'm going to build a tank and paint it up all nice and pretty as well. So that's an example of what this build thing would be for. If you all want to participate, just get the model kit that you have never done before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, for me, it's a tank. For other people, it would be a car. That would be Liam. Liam, bring out your pristine car.
That's not fair. I did a Volkswagen Beetle, then I did a Volkswagen Max Beetle.
True.
Yes.
You did.
How's Christine coming?
I'm the auto virgin here. I've never done a car kit before.
You've never done a car kit before?
If
you want suggestions, we can give them to you. But I think, though, the suggestion I would make is maybe Tamiya, because they fit really well. AMT, if you want to take drugs.
What are you saying about AMT?
So, yeah, I mean, how is Christine?
She is sitting there still looking at me. I could... Don't forget, her engine was donated to the Beetle.
Oh, that's true. It was donated to the Beetle. Okay,
But
then you got more room to light the thing then.
But you don't see the engine when she's built anyway, so that's sort of
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Perhaps,
But I think
but I haven't done a tank. A tank would be my choice, but that's
okay. So you and I will do a tank. I'm going to do a Tamiya tank.
well, that's up till the 31st of March.
Yeah, until 31st of March. We're going to do builds quarterly, so we don't know what the others are going to be the rest of the year. But yeah, I think out of your comfort zone build. What's that?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. It certainly does. And also, notice there's a lot of logo changes. Maybe it will stop. We're going to try to do more stuff that was going to help enhance the community. Where did this script go? I need scripts because I'm that dumb. If this is your first time joining us in this Hangout and want to view other Hangouts on Google+, go to my channel on YouTube. That's Scratch and Jack. I'm trying to figure out how to move it over to a Amazing Scale Model channel. We'll figure it out. Anyhow, just go to my channel at Scratch and Jack and like this video. Offer some suggestions. If it's thumbs down, that just shows you the kind of person you are. Anyhow, thanks for joining us, and tomorrow we're going to have a Sunday Hangout, another edition of the Sunday Hangout that's a little more kicked back and relaxed, because I'm half asleep anyway. Until then, happy modeling, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.